Well, hey, do buckaroos, how the heck are you? You know who I am. I'm going to be Tom the Beer Whisperer and Whiskey Whisperer for this purpose. But I also have Lillycue, the Dragon
Hey,
of Darkness, joining me. You're from Montreal, right?
yeah, Montreal.
Oh, so what are you drinking tonight with us at the pub?
It's rum and coke. Usually
Rum
it's
and
straight.
Coke.
Yeah, usually I drink straight rum, but only Kraken because like other rums I don't really like straight. But there we go.
So you drinking Kraken rum?
No, right now it's not Kraken. It's another rum, so that's why it's a rum and coke. If it would be Kraken, it would be just straight rum. But
So what rum are you drinking then?
what? Sorry.
What rum are you drinking?
Well, I don't know. I don't have the bottle. It was a gift from
There was
Cuba.
six.
So
Gotcha. Okay. So rum and Coke. Gotcha. Gotcha.
yeah.
So I have I lost it here. I had it here a second ago. I had some Appleton rum. I don't know where it went. Hey dear, you see my Appleton rum? I just had it. I brought it over here to have. Oh, there it is. So I've got it. Never mind. My wife has been helping me. I got some Appleton Estates. Uh, uh, 12-year rare cask that I see. Since you said you're drinking rum, I'm going to have some rum with you. So, Lillycue, you're in Montreal. What's the weather like in your neck of the woods?
Uh, Cold.
It's
Um,
cold here, but I'm guessing you're colder than I am.
well, right now it's hot. Like not hot. It's relative, right? I know it's in Celsius. I can't. Don't know. Let me check. Okay, Fahrenheit. Right now it's
24.
34 Fahrenheit. But they are announcing minus. I don't know, minus 30 Celsius next week. I don't know how much it is in Fahrenheit, but yeah, it's gonna be super cold next week with snow. I hate snow, but there we go.
Well, you're in Canada, right? So you're kind of expecting that.
Yeah, yes. But usually Montreal is kind of warmer than the rest of the province, but still minus 30. If someone knows the equivalent in Fahrenheit is really cold.
So, are you a French Canadian then?
Yeah, French Canadian.
So, were you born and raised there?
Yes, I was born in Trois-Rivières, which means three rivers, and
Oh,
yeah,
wow. Okay.
yeah, it's like an hour and a half from Montreal. I
Oh,
mean, it's a big
nice.
province. Quebec is a big province. Like
It
it's like
is. It is. And I've never been there, actually. I've been to Ontario,
hmm,
but I've never
that's
been to
also a big
Quebec.
province. Sorry,
I said I've never been to Quebec. I've been to Ontario.
yeah, like Ontario is also a big province. It's
It is, yeah.
yeah,
But it wasn't quite as far east as you are, right?
yeah. We're eastern like time zone and
Mhm.
near the like we have the St. Lawrence River which goes into the ocean. So we're pretty close to we're pretty far east.
So you're a musician.
Yeah.
So let's talk about your music. What are you trying to, let me phrase this a different way. Do you fit into any particular box? What is your style?
Progressive metal, I guess. Like
Progressive.
my new song is electronic metal. So there you go. That's not even progressive metal. So it depends. It's the centerpiece is metal, but at the same time it's progressive because I try so many things and like I try to explore genres and like I'm not right now if you listen to my song you could say oh that's the type of music she plays like because I'm all over the place.
Yeah. So as I was trying to explain the song I was listening to a friend, I thought, well, it's metal, but it's kind of an electronic metal, and
Yeah,
I don't know how to, I don't know really how to put it in words.
this one is electronic metal for sure, but there probably smart people out there will say oh I know exactly the style that is. I don't. I just do stuff because I like it. It's like so I'll let the scholars of this world to decipher my music genre.
So what are your influences then? Who are your influences then?
Video game music plays a big part of what I like. Since I was
Hmm.
little, I played video games, RPGs like Final Fantasy and stuff like this. So like this is a big influence, but also like Rage Against the Machine is one of my favorite band.
Okay, gotcha.
I like Nirvana. I like hardcore metal. I like death metal a lot. It's like I'm all over the place. I'm a metalhead first and foremost, but I like
So
I'll add.
I'm gonna throw a band at you from a metalhead friend of mine, just to see if you are familiar with them. So Goat Horror.
No, I don't know that band though.
Um, um, what's another band he listens to? Behemoth.
Yeah, I know Behemoth.
Okay,
Do you
gotcha.
do you know
So
about Flesh God Apocalypse?
yeah.
That's a band. Yeah, they're
So,
awesome.
so for my generation, I'm a big Iron Maiden fan.
Oh, yeah, of course, classic. I love Iron Maiden. Oh,
Okay, there we go.
I mean,
We found some middle ground.
look, that's the beauty of metal, right? There's so different, so many genres. They're not confined to in one. Yes, of course, the common thing is like metal, like guitar and hard guitar, and like, but
Just
metal
a
is,
heavy beat.
yeah, the beat also, but there's so different many genres, and that's what's
Yeah, you're
awesome.
right. Yeah. So there's no limit, right?
No, there's no that's the thing. Like if you take mainstream music, for example, right? They usually follow a certain like 4/4 beat. Like a lot of mainstream music sounds the same. I'm not saying that there's no original mainstream. That's not what I'm saying. But mainstream goes in a certain direction. And sometimes they evolve, sometimes they don't. Metal is just like whatever, just try something. Like you like this guitar? Okay, add like I did, add electronic to it. Let's see what it does, right? So there's no limit. There's a good cool band I like are like Electric Callboy. Callboy are like a dance
Hmm.
techno metal kind of, and they're awesome. And there you go, they do what the fuck they want, and that's what's awesome.
So techno metal.
Yeah, kind of. I don't know. I just put words together, but they are electronic for sure. I don't know specific. Like I said, some
uh,
people knows all the specific about the genres.
yeah, there wasn't a lot of genres when I was a kid. We just listened to metal.
Yeah,
But I have again my friend I'm bringing up. He's introduced me to what's called stoner metal,
yeah, of course. Yes, so
which
there's
seems
also.
to be when I listen to stoner metal, it seems to be what I listened to back in the '80s.
But the fun part is stoner metal and sludge metal are kind of dissimilar. They go from the Beatles where their song "She's That Heavy." The Beatles
Oh
have a
yeah,
song
you're
called
right.
"She's That
Yeah,
Heavy," and it kind of sounds like stone metal, and that was the Beatles. So like the origins goes far.
that's wild. Okay, that's crazy. Okay, I get that. So what are you? I've listened to your music, and there's some songs that resonate for me. There's some that don't because again, I'm an old guy. But uh, but I will say the last song you uploaded, I really liked.
Desperate Situation, yeah, that's a new one.
Yeah, that was a very interesting tune.
Thank you. I was super worried about that one because I wasn't sure. Like I experimented a lot. Also, it's my third song that I sing in, and like I'm not a super great singer. So I was worried, but this reception seems to be great. So hey, thank you.
No, it was a very interesting song. But the thing is, I don't know. Sometimes it's not about being a great singer; it's about being a vocalist, and I
Of
think that's
course,
what's different with the rock and metal genre. It's about resonating with that
yeah,
particular genre, right?
like Lemmy from Motorhead, bless his soul,
Yes,
right?
that's a
Like,
great example. Yeah,
but
Let Me
still,
Promoting is a great. I don't know that anybody had that what's the word I'm looking for, that had that resonated better, that had that beat on what people wanted better than Lemmy did.
yeah, it's like, and that's what's fun, like in a world where we seek perfection, right? like we want the best voice to sing, the best this, the best
Yeah.
that. Well, like first be yourself, because you might resonate with other people that likes what you do. Like instead of trying to always be perfect. And that's something I learned with my graphic design background, is like at some point there's a good enough. You said that's good enough. Let's go. Like you can't, like I could have waited re-sing all the lyrics for like 100 more time until it was perfect. But then
Mhm.
again, we'll have like the time was now to release this song and not.
Sometimes it's the imperfections that make it
Yeah.
perfect.
And that's a big criticism of metal these days, because everything's so perfect, everything's super well produced, produced everything like super timing wise. There's like, and some metal sounds the same. I'm not saying all new metal is crap, because like I'm from that, I'm also like create new music as well,
Mhm.
but like what was appealing for the 80s and 90s was the imperfection, because no one knew what
Yes.
they were doing. Like producers didn't know. They
Just
like,
throw it out there.
yeah, that's it. Like, yeah,
Are you familiar with an artist named Nick Lowe?
I heard the name, I think, but I'm not familiar.
So he had a lot of hits in the 70s and 80s, but as a producer, Nick Lowe was known as the Basher.
Okay.
And the reason he was called the Basher was because Nick Lowe was famous for taking all the productions out, just stripping whatever band he was producing down to the bare minimum.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
And
super smart.
he made everybody sound better because he took the crap out.
Yeah. That's the thing. You need to have a solid foundation, and that's you, your style, and then you add to it. But you don't want, if you add too much, you remove that foundation, that
That's right,
source.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what, as much as I love the 80s because that's where I grew up, is
Depends on the 80s
that's
too.
where a
I'm
lot of the
older than
80s
90s.
went wrong is they overproduced everything.
Yeah. Yeah, like that's the today we have a lot of effects, guitar effects that we use on the software, right? Some people,
Yeah.
I don't even have an amp, because I right now I don't need, it's too loud, it's too expensive, right? But with all these softwares, it's amazing making music with them, but it also they have presets, and everyone use these presets without exploring whatever. So a lot of sounds the same, like because everyone uses the same things, right? So that's important to, when I do, when I create a music, I go right from the basis. I choose an amp, see, do I like this sound? Okay, now I build up on this. Instead of just using, oh, this sounds good, I'm not gonna change anything. If that
So
makes sense.
yeah, it does. And if I'm hearing you right, what you're saying is every artist has to have their original
Yeah,
sound
they should.
without everything else added to it.
Yeah, yeah, and there's also a knowledge of what's too much, what's not enough, and that's for you to decide as well. Like goes back to stop being perfectionist, which is super difficult for an artist, because everyone wants to be perfect.
Yes, it is.
But the thing is, don't be perfect. Be like, don't be a machine.
Yeah. I've noticed when I do things, if I look at it once or twice, I'm okay. But if I start to look at it three, four, five, six times, then I'm looking at it 50 times.
I like my way of writing music, super interesting, because let's say I come up with a new riff and it
Hmm.
sounds good now. I stop and I sleep on it. If the next morning I listen to it, it's still good. It's perfect. That's what I want. If it sounds, oh,
Okay.
that's horrible, I scrap it.
Nice, nice. Way back when, I mean, 100 years ago, when I was a kid, when I would write a lyric, I would look at it the next day and say, okay, does this still make sense? Because sometimes what makes sense one night doesn't make sense
Yeah,
the next
that's
day.
right. Yeah, it's yeah, and like that's the thing. Everyone has their way of writing music. So like, I'm not here to say this is how you should write music. It just, I still want to keep my sound while still innovating and improving stuff, but while
Mhm.
keeping the essence. And I've come up with my own way to write music that works for me. And it's important to like artists finds their own way. That's for sure.
So are you touring anywhere besides your area
I
there in
don't even
Montreal?
tour. I don't like I'm a bedroom guitarist.
Oh, are you? Okay, okay.
Yeah,
I'm,
like
I'm
I
just wondering. So are you but do you have any plans to get
yeah,
out of the bedroom and
2025
get out of Montreal?
2025 will be interesting. I'll announce more stuff in the future, but
You will, okay.
right now I'm working on an album, so the song I released will be part of a an album that my first album ever because I never written an album before. Once this is finished, I have another project in mind, and it's to decide: do I want other people work with me or not? Do I want to do it alone? I'm not sure yet. Having other people will be great because I'll have other people's input. Like having a drummer would be cool because right now it's just samples. It's a software like it's drum loops with software that I edit
Mhm.
sometimes, but like I don't have a drummer, so that's for sure. But like I'm at that point that I will need to decide what the next project will be. Really, I have a pretty good idea of the essence of the project, like but like the details, I'm not sure yet.
So I first came across you on Facebook, and then from there I looked at your music on Spotify. What other streaming services can people find you on?
Everything. If it's a
Okay,
streaming
okay.
service, my song are probably on there. Yes, I have a website, so it's lillycue.me. So it's super easy to remember. Everything's there. Well, all the major streaming services are there, but you could search my name in Pandora or whatever. If I Heart
Okay.
Music, these are like you will find me there.
Well, I'm an old guy, so it takes me a while to find these things, but young folks find it easily.
Yeah, well, like my most the most used streaming services or the streaming services that have the most streams are Spotify and YouTube. YouTube Music, YouTube combined because they're the
Mhm.
same.
Oh,
That's the
gotcha, gotcha. Yeah,
yeah, like the third one is Apple Music, but by far, and then Amazon. That's like the four major one, but there's
I
actually
gotcha.
two major ones. Yeah.
So you have no plans to tour then?
I would love to tour, but like I sing and play. I don't know how to do both at the same time. So that's a skill I will have to
Gotcha,
learn.
gotcha.
But there's so many like no, I want to be more out there than just in my bedroom making music, and making videos. I want to do more, but like I I need to meet people first. I need to meet artists. I need to that there's so many things in place. Also work on my confidence a bit. Like it's a thing having confidence online and another thing having confidence like outside. So yeah, there's so
Understood.
many. Yeah, but I would like to go out there to be a hot chicks on stage. That's one of my dreams.
That's nice. That's very nice. Are there places you would like to play?
I don't know.
I mean,
Like I
certain venues, certain cities, or certain places you'd like to
I
go.
would
I
like to
guess.
start small to see how I like it and how I can adapt first, like a few dozen people maybe, and then we can grow from there.
Yeah.
Because, like, yes, of course, you like a lot of artists probably have the dreams of a stadium filled with people, right? That's
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
dream, right? But like, that's a dream that I have some time, but that's a big step,
That's
like.
yeah. So way back when I was playing, and I was never very good. But way back when, my goal was never to be a rock star per se. I just wanted to play my music. So I guess the question I want to ask you then is that not necessarily that you want to be a rock star or famous, but are there very specific cities or venues that you would like to play?
Well, huh. Well, I would like for sure. There are spots in Montreal that seems like it's like even metal bands goes to. That would be
Mhm.
fun. Like, there's
I mean, are,
clubs
are there
there. That's
festivals in your neck of the woods or my neck of the woods that you would like to get to?
yeah. Like there's not really festivals in Quebec. I don't know if there's in Ontario. So that's the thing. A festival will be fucking nice with a lot of musicians.
That would be yeah, yeah.
There's some in the States and a lot in Europe. Of course, Europe is full of metal festivals, but like playing in Europe will be cool. Like, but again, I want to see step by step because I want
I
to like.
understood. Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
But of course,
So,
like,
so I'm a fan of. So I actually I don't want to say that. what? So you're from Quebec. So what Canadian bands were your influences?
Not many. I mean, there's the Agonist, which a like a death metal kind of band, which
Hmm.
are they're from here, but like I don't know many. Like most of the bands I like are not from here. Like maybe the
Okay.
scene. I'm not saying there's not no musicians here that don't go like,
No, no, I'm just curious.
but like I
A
don't
part
know
of me
much.
was hoping you'd say Anvil.
Oh, that's right. They're from Ontario, right?
Yeah, part of it I was like, good,
Yeah,
good, let's go
Envol are
back to
from
my
Ontario.
let's
Yes,
go back to
you're
my
right.
youth. I was a kid when Anvil
I mean,
came out.
Rush is
Rush,
Canadian, of
so
course.
Rush actually Rush was my first arena show when I was a kid at 15 years old.
Oh no. Yeah, Rush.
1980 is no, but I remember when Anvil was first breaking out when he said that area. I was kind of hoping you mentioned them, but
Yeah, Envol. Like I did listen to them. They're good. They're good, but they're not on my playlist because I have so
mm,
many music on there. Like, and also Rush. Like up until a couple of years, they were still having they were not making money with their music. Like 10 years.
yes,
Yeah, that's
that's very
super
true
sad
actually.
because they are important in the metal scene. The influence they had. So that's super sad for them.
Well, Rush is known more as a prog rock band, but yeah, I just didn't know how much of influence that might have had on you. Yeah,
I meant Envil. I didn't say I meant Envil. That
Anvil,
couple,
yeah,
yeah, a couple 10 years ago, they didn't make money with their music.
Anvil never made any money. No,
Yeah,
unfortunately, they were known as an up and comer way back when, and they just kind of faded off into the sunset.
yeah, and that's sad. Like, yeah.
But what other are there other Canadian uh, other Canadian artists that you may have heard of?
Well, Canadians, there's a couple. Like, I'm sure there's more. There's more. I just don't know. Like I said, like, well, of course, Simple Plan is Canadian. We also
Yeah,
have
yeah,
like,
yeah. My daughter
um,
was a fan of that band. Yeah.
what's the name that the rock band everyone hates and don't at the same time? Super popular band. What's their name? I forgot their name. Um, yeah, Simple Plan.
I remember Simple Plan. My daughter was a fan of them. Canadian artists that I know, I will
Nickelback.
name them off.
Nickelback is a big metal. Is a big rock.
But see, I'm going to go back to the 70s with Kim Mitchell,
Yeah, I heard the name, but I never listened.
Max Webster.
Nope.
No, gosh, I am old. I'm that
No, it's
old.
not. Look. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. There's a lot of music out there.
Barney Bentall, maybe. No,
No, I
I'm
don't.
drawing a blank. Barney Bentall, Kim Mitchell, Max
Yeah, Kimetsu, I
Webster.
know. I know.
Uh, well, of course, Neil Young is a famous Canadian.
Okay, I didn't know Neil Young was Canadian, so there we go.
Yes, Neil Young is Canadian. You don't want to claim him. We don't want to either. It's okay.
No, it's fine. It's just I
No.
don't know. Like my a lot of influence comes like I have influence from Europe, Japan, of course, for video game music.
Mhm. That makes
U-
sense. Yes.
USA, of course. UK as well. I'm not saying there's no talent here. I mean,
No, no, no. And I wasn't getting at that. But
yeah,
American metal. What bands influence you?
I like um I like Lamb of God a lot.
Lamb of God. Okay, I got a friend
They're
that
from the
really likes
US,
that.
right? Yeah, Lamb of
Yeah.
God are pretty good. Like I like the way they do. Coheed and Cambria are from the US, are they? Yeah, Coheed and Cambria I think are from the US. That's a good
Hmm.
progressive band. They are fantastic. That's a couple of bands. Oh my god, I draw blanks. I could just check my
Yes,
Spotify
I
page.
do the same thing. So growing up, uh, I guess the interesting conversations I've had with a lot of friends is what's considered metal now. Well, okay, let me take that back. What was considered metal in my age isn't considered metal now. Like Black Sabbath, for instance, Blue
No, Black
Oyster
Sabbath is
Cult,
still metal.
bands that influenced me, but they're not metal anymore.
No, they are. Black Sabbath is the OG. Like
They are.
Black Sabbath. There will be no metal without Black Sabbath. Like, and there
Yeah, I
will be
agree
no
with
Black
that.
Sabbath without the Beatles and Jimi Hendrix. So it's all like
Yeah.
inspirations come, but no, they're still metal. Like even Iron Maiden, like they're less heavy than we think sometimes, but they're metal. Like they pioneered the genre as well, as long
Again,
with
without Iron Maiden, a lot of bands wouldn't have existed
yeah.
after that.
J-
So, are
j-
you familiar with a band called Saxon?
I heard Saxon, but I never like I heard about Saxon. I never heard their music, or maybe I did. I don't know.
They were kind of on the tail of Iron Maiden, but they were really good. How about Uriah Heep, maybe?
No, I don't know.
Another British band. I'm old. Gosh darn.
No, like I said, it's
I'm
not. It's not.
an old man.
No, that's not it. There's so many music out there. Like I remember
There
an interview with
is.
I remember an interview with Ingve Malmsteen, right? Like you mentioned in the
Oh
same
my gosh.
school.
So are you a fan of Yngwie?
I mean, yeah, some of his work, others I'm not. He just repeats himself with the same stuff over and over again.
Ah, see, I
But
agree. I
but
agree.
some of his stuff are
You can
super
only play
great.
fast for so long.
Yeah, that's it. But I mean, the interview was about in the same school. He had influences that other friends like. There's some music his friend listened that he didn't listen, and that's not because he didn't want to. He didn't even know at the
Yeah.
time. In high school, because there's so many music out there.
So, are you familiar with Randy Rhoads then?
Yes, I'm familiar with Randy Rhoads. Yes.
So, again, that's why a lot of folks say without Randy Rhoads, there wouldn't be Yngwie Malmsteen.
Yeah.
Randy
Well,
Rhoads kind of paved the way for
there,
garden guitarists like.
there's a super nice documental like a series
Mhm.
called Metal Evolution.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
that's kind of old now because it's a couple of years. It's amazing because they trace the sources of metal and it goes places. Like how Jimi Hendrix broke the blues standard and said,
Yes,
"Hey,
yes,
you can do
absolutely,
more
yes.
than blues on guitar." And Jimi Hendrix only had like 4 years career because
Oh,
he
they're very
sadly
young, yeah.
passed away. But in this 4 years, he shook the music world.
He did, he really did.
Same thing as the Beatles, because everything was too perfect, clean, and the Beatles said, "Fuck that! We're a band, and we're dressed the way we want." Like the way music influence itself is amazing. Like it, and some people say, "Oh, they were influenced by that band. That band's so dumb." You don't understand the context.
Yes, that's exactly
Like
right, I agree.
why a band is popular in this time is the context, because other time, like oftentimes why people like Jimi Hendrix, like I said, is because he broke standard, but he's not the only one. There's so many bands. Even Moss Team did the opposite, right? All the guitar they were not sophisticated enough and came out playing neoclassical music and people were like, who's that guy, right? It's
Mhm.
like musician break. That's how music works. You break standard to make new genre, and then everyone do that same genre, and another one break that genre, and it's like intricate like that.
Yes, I agree. I mean, you had the Moody Blues that was doing something very different at the time in the 60s, which gave way to a band like Yes and a guitarist like Steve Howe, which really defined prog rock initially, and then it became something else.
And
And
like,
then you had, yeah, again, you had a guitarist like Randy Rhoads, who was going to, unfortunately, he died way too young, but he was going to employ a lot of classical rock techniques into heavy metal. And then you have somebody like Yngwie Malmsteen that took it to another level.
yeah, and then you have like Nirvana, which everyone became so sophisticated, and like Kurt Cobain came and like played few notes with so much emotion that they changed the world. Like you take Nirvana, it's like it's simple, but that music is still today impactful because again, music became too. It was all Invase, right? All Invase copies, and
Hmm.
then Nirvana came. It's like not just Invade, there were other, but it was super fast. And then Nirvana came. Let's just go
They slowed
simple.
it. Let's slow it down.
Yeah, there we go. Like the impact of music, like history of music is super interesting, and I don't know half of it or even less, but still, like for me as a musician, I always look like this because it makes me to think in perspective, like what is music and what
Hmm.
makes music popular, and then oh.
So, do you have a goal? Or what are you looking to next? Because when I've listened to your songs, I've seen quite a change from your first release to this newest release.
So. First and foremost, the goal of me using the name Lillycue as a music producer writer was to learn. Like the songs on there are commercial music. You can listen to them and buy them if you want on Bandcamp, whatever. But the primary goal for me was to learn how to make music.
Hmm.
You can say I know how to make music, but you don't because you never made music. And before I wanted to go bigger, more aspiration, I needed to know the basis. So if you listen to
Understood.
my
Yeah.
first song, rhythm, metal rhythm in your face, that's my first song, right?
Yeah.
Uh, that the goal of that song was to work rhythm, learn how to use a program to mix and master everything. That was a learning experience for me.
Yeah.
And so
Understood.
that's
Yeah.
the basis. So my next songs I want to go, the next one will be more progressive metal and more heavy.
Okay.
And then they have other project for this album. After the album, I want a new project will be defined what I really want. But I don't really know what I want until I explore first.
Yeah, that actually makes perfect sense to me. Yeah.
Because it's a thing to have an idea in your mind. I want to do this, but you don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
before
don't
knowing
know
how
until
to
you
do
do it,
something,
right?
yeah, you need to like learn the basics and they
Yeah. Yeah.
explore
That
direction,
makes
right?
sense.
And I can say this, like for example, Desperate Situation and Realize are both kind of electronic metal. These two songs are a direction I would like to explore more, but my other project is more like heavy metal, like progressive dark metal, I guess, like that I want. That's I have two
Really?
projects
Okay.
in mind. Yeah, yeah.
So when you say progressive dark metal, what
I
bands might you compare that to?
Well, my favorite band, one favorite band is Moon Sorrow, and it's
Okay.
a band from Finland. And I like my favorite song of theirs is Half an Hour. That's a full song, half an hour, right? And they that that band is amazing because I don't call their songs, I call them journeys because it's really a journey. You listen to their songs, like some songs are 15 minutes, half an hour, 20 minutes, right? They have a few
Or
5 minute songs, but they are long songs. And you listen to
mhm,
this, like it goes places.
you're almost describing a heavy metal version of a jam band.
Yeah, well, yes, but they have their direction where they go. That's what like it's
Okay.
called pagan. It's pagan metal, so it's not technically
Pagan
black
metal.
metal,
Okay. Gotcha.
and it's a specific style. But yeah, you're right. Also, I'm not saying you're wrong. But it's like all the finish you listen to a full song and like that makes sense. All these songs
Okay.
was contained into itself. Like if that makes sense, I don't know how to explain it, but
No, that
that's
does
one.
make sense. The only issue I have with that is that you're asking people to have an attention span.
Wait, yeah, yeah. So I mean, that's an inspiration.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I want to do half an hour songs. I'm not
Yeah.
saying this. I
Because
like
most people
five.
don't have a half an hour attention span
I
anymore.
like 5, 6 minute songs, 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, well, I'm gonna explore. But I mean, that's one of the bands that
No. Yeah.
inspired me a lot. Another one
Yeah.
is Vamps. It's a Japanese band, not the Vamps. That's not the same band. Vamps, and that's a Japanese hard dark rock. They're amazing. Um, More people should know about them, but they're more like think of like street vampires, like punks,
Mhm.
and like not saying punk music, but like rough and like dirty. That's the kind of music they make, which I don't know how if that describes music at all. But like these are some of two bands that I like a lot, but they're not the only one. That's like I listen to so much stuff, and I always take cues. Like sometimes especially in the summer, I take walks with headphones and I'm listening to music. My Spotify playlist is like I think 24 hours long. Yeah, no, 251 hours long. That's my Spotify playlist, and it's on random, and it's not just metal. So I walk, and then sometimes it's gonna be Foo Fighters that comes in. Oh, like I listen to Foo Fighters, and that's gonna be Flesh God Apocalypse in my. It's like two different songs, two different genre. And I always listen and always attentive. Attentive, that's the right word, right? To
Yes.
if I can learn something while listening, like, oh, that's a good idea. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Like, so I have so many inspiration, like yeah, I
That's nice. Yeah.
I don't want to fit in a box because I feel if I fix in a box, I'm just gonna be like everyone else, and I don't
Hmm.
want that.
That's
I want
nice.
to
I
have
like that.
different. Like, I love death metal, but I, I'm not good at creating death metal songs. Not
Hmm.
now yet. So I'm not a super great guitarist, Like I can't do super complicated riff. I'm not, but I like it. And if I learn to do some death metal riffs, I'll probably gonna use this in my song. But I would not be to be like I don't want to be known as, oh, she's a death metal player. No, I'm
Yeah.
me. I'm me. I'm making my music, but I want it to be heavy and dark because I like it. Also.
So you like the heavy and dark then?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Of course, yes, but not dark, depressive. Like not black metal. Like I like. I think dark can have a root, like could be rootless. I like mean. I'm like I'm gonna get you. Like I like that.
So you
Which I,
mentioned Lemmy earlier. Are there any of those early speed metal influences other than Lemmy?
well, there's a band that was more speed back then. Is Blind Guardian. They're
Oh yeah,
more.
yeah.
Yeah, they're different. I don't like new. Even then, it's old. I like the fourth album, 2 to 4 album. There were rough and speed metal. Black Guardian at that
Hmm.
time was my first time listening to metal.
Oh really? Okay,
Oh yeah,
that's
yeah.
interesting.
That's like some people it's Metallica. I didn't go into the hype train of Metallica. For me, it was Blind Guardian. Like not saying Metallica's wrong. I'm not saying this, but my
I got
first
to admit, I've never been a Metallica fan. Though.
I'm not super fan Metallica, but I respect what they've built. They've put
That makes
metal on the
sense.
map.
Yeah.
They've put metal on the map. Without Metallica, metal would not be here where it is today. Like, but I like Testament. Testament is pretty good.
Testament. Yeah.
But I
But
discovered them way later in life. But like Testaments are pretty good. Like, and they always sounds like Testaments while still being new. That's why I like about. Even though like only the guitar is the same member, founding member, because they change everyone. Like the band changed so
they
much.
change everyone. That's
But like
interesting.
it still sounds like Testament. They're working on a new album. I'm sure it's gonna be fantastic. I'm sure the New Testament band will be like wow, amazing because they know what they're doing. So that's some of my inspiration for metal. Um, Black Sabbath, of course. Like Black Sabbath, I think I've discovered Black Sabbath at the same time I discovered Blind Guardian.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I remember buying we had something in Canada called Columbia House. You could get like 10 CDs for 1 cent,
Hmm.
and then you had to buy a CD per month, but no one.
Oh no! Don't
You
do that, Columbia. Oh gosh.
No, you
Then
just
you're on
don't
the
do it.
hook.
They would never. They didn't enforce it, so you got 10 CDs for 1 cent.
I think everybody owes Columbia House.
Yeah, so I got Black Sabbath in there. I think I skipped Iron Maiden for some reason, but like I got so many bands in this, and like oh, that's like, of course, I also had Prodigy, the Prodigy, which is like electronic music, and it's like this also I found like when I was young was super amazing. So my inspiration are all over the place, I guess.
So, what are your ultimate goals then?
Shake the world is not too much to say. No, I know.
No,
Like, I would
that's okay. Yeah,
look. There's a lot of bullshit in the world right now,
there is.
and I would like to use my voice to change things if I can. I me and
What
my
would you like to
girlfriend,
change?
but me and my girlfriend have a transgender support group on Facebook, which we
Hmm.
are about 22,000 followers on this Facebook. Like, and I
Yeah,
use my voice. We post a lot of things, and I use my voice to call the bullshit in the world. That's for sure. But
nice.
I would like to use my music to call for the bullshit as well. Yeah, it's a
Okay,
bit like a Rage Against the Machine, I guess. But like,
understood.
I'm not saying I'm Tom Morello. Tom Morello is an amazing guitarist. I'm not. I'm below his level. But that's not. I don't want to compare with this amazing guitarist. But I would like to use my voice to call the bullshit because I'm fed up. I'm fed up of four people ruling the world right now. Elon Musk is one of them. Like,
Hmm.
like they're rich and they pay their way into politics and it's affecting the fucking world. And I hate this. So if I can use my music and my social presence to encourage people to
Uh-huh.
stand together and change things, I would like to do that. I
I
hope
like
I
it.
don't sound too presumptuous or anything. I'm just fed up.
No, what I want to ask though is, so I'm in Missouri here in the United States. So we are in a transition at this moment in time. We got a
Yeah.
new president coming on who hasn't been very friendly for the trans community. So
No,
I don't know how that might affect you, or do you have any thoughts about that?
it's gonna affect the world. It's affecting Canada. It's affecting everyone in the world. It's
So
like
are you as disgusted by our uh by this as I am?
I'm okay. I don't want to say rude. I'm also disgusted about your system that put it in this place.
Yes.
Like I'm not saying all Americans are bad, but the system put this guy there.
But we screwed up, didn't we?
Yeah, and I'm mad at that
Yeah, I'm
because
mad too, and I'm
it's
here.
it's a responsibility. The, the USA is almost one of the strongest countries in the world,
And we
and
did this.
it's yes, you did it. And you're gonna affect the whole world. But I don't want to be with individual because you're nice, and I know American people are super nice. I know trans people in America, but I don't like the system that put this guy there.
No, I don't like it either. I don't like it either. But this is where we are. This and I told you before we started this, I wasn't going to delve into politics unless you wanted to go there. But I don't like this individual. I'm not happy that this is where we are. But at this point, what can we all do with your society in mind? What can we do to fix this?
Well, so I follow a channel on YouTube called Midas Touch Network, which it's independent media.
Uh,
And like they on YouTube, they have like about three something followers. They have more people listening than like traditional media like Fox and wherever. Like, and what I'm seeing with this network and what they like the guy, I forgot his name, like interviewed people from the politic in Canada as well. So like the goal is to have people that speak, like people with progressive idea that speaks. Like, one of the reasons like Trump won is Joe Rogan, right? And
yes,
Joe Rogan is
yes, yeah.
the most listened guy on anything, right? Like his podcast has millions of people, right? We need people, progressive people doing that as well. And I'm not like the big problem. There's a lot. That's the thing. There's not one problem to this whole thing, right? But a lot of people hide in fear, and that's not the time to hide in fear. That's time to
Yeah, I
stand up
agree.
and
Yeah,
call out for the bullshit. That's what we need to do, right? Like things needs to change, but they won't if we stay quiet.
and that's a problem, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's
Nobody wants to jump up and say, "Hey, you're wrong."
yeah, yeah,
And that's I feel like America is goose stepping back into a Nazi society.
yes. I mean, it's not just the US. I mean, like Germany right now is not really going super great here. Here we might, here we have right, extremist right, extremist whatever, Poliev that wants to take over politics and like become the
Yeah,
premier here.
I'm concerned about that because we always look at Canadians as being happy
Mm.
and polite, but you got a lot of crazy
Oh
conservatives in
yeah,
your neck
and
of the
like
woods too.
we have a journalist here called Martineau, who just bash trans people. He writes in the newspaper, and the only thing he does is like always he write about something, it always comes down to that's because of trans people. We 1% of the population. That's not our fault.
Everything's your fault, right?
Yeah, everything's our fault. Like, yes, of course, blame us. The eggs are too expensive. Yes, trans people. That's why the eggs are too expensive.
And we've got the same thing going on here.
Yeah.
It's
So
always
stand
the
up.
fault of trans people.
And also,
Anything different than who they are is what the fault is.
yeah, like and like people were like, I'm tired of seeing religion and politics that like we're seeing right now, and yeah, it's like any kind of religion. I'm not just saying it's Christianity, because I've seen other extreme religions elsewhere imposing their will. Stop, stop, like your religion won't fix anything, but they believe their religion won't fix anything. So that's the thing. So we need to speak up. We need to speak up. And one thing I would say, as a musician, I've seen a lot of musicians says, I won't deal in politics. Well, that's the
Mhm.
problem. That's the what's I'm not saying I'm not saying you do a show and you talk about politics all the time. That's not what I'm saying. But be vocal about the bullshit. Musicians, stop hiding. Be vocal about the bullshit. Like I don't like this mentality. I will never talk about politics on in my music. Well, you're part of the problem then, because like you're not defending people who are like who are weak when they can't defend themselves. Vulnerable. That's what the word I was looking for. Yeah, I'm
Yep, I
sorry.
agree. No, you're
But
good. I just remember saying from the '60s here in the U.S. was, if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem.
yeah,
And
and
I feel like everybody that doesn't want to be part of the solution is part of the problem right now. Folks that don't want that see all the injustice going on, they're afraid that they're going to be persecuted. They don't want to be they don't want to be noticed. So if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem right now.
also like that's another thing I don't like about your system. It's like the two-party system, which highly polarize people.
Oh, it
It's us
is.
against them, like Democrat versus Republican, us against them. There's no bridge building. There's
We,
no,
we, we, we are the Sith. If you're familiar with Star Wars vernacular,
yeah,
we are the Sith. If you're not with us, you're against us.
yeah.
That
I
is
hate this.
that is very American. If you're not with us, you're against us.
Here in Canada for 10 years, we had a minority government. What does
Uh-huh.
that mean? So that means the Trudeau didn't have enough seats, so he
Hmm.
allied himself with the NDP,
Hmm.
which is the
Oh yeah.
Progressive Party, and they governed together.
Oh
They
yeah.
made concessions. Is that the right word? Right? They made
It
concessions. They
made
worked together.
concessions. Yes.
You don't have this in the US. You have
Oh, we.
us
Yeah.
or them. Every election is build or it's going to be destroyed. Build. That's not a way to build a nation. Building, destroying, building, destroying, building, destroying. There's no
The only thing
progression.
I can tell you, Lillycue, is you're preaching to the choir.
Yeah, but
I
yeah, but
agree 100%. So, but I, mean, I do want to ask you though, what are your honest uh, uh, perceptions of Trudeau?
I mean,
Has
I
he
didn't
done
like
the
the
best
guy.
for you? Has he done the best for your people?
I mean, he was progressive with LGBTQ rights, which is awesome.
Yeah.
But I know he didn't want to be there. The reason he's there is because his father was Trudeau as well. Like
Yeah, I knew that. Yeah. I just didn't
and
know how, because I've known folks that didn't like him, and known folks that did like
yeah,
him. I just,
I'm he could have done a better job, but then again, he's not Poliev, so it's like
so what's coming up next for your people if he's leaving office?
so he resigned. There should be new elections in a month or more. I don't know. Like
Are you optimistic about your new leader? I guess is what I'm asking.
Just the fact that Poilievre is there is concerning for me.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Right. Just the fact that a Maple MAGA guy, because that's what they call him, Maple MAGA.
Oh, that's not good. That's not good.
Yeah, just the fact there's a Maple MAGA in our country is concerning. But yet again, we're not elections. There's the campaign hasn't started. I don't think they have. Do they have a? I don't think they have a nominee for prime minister for the Liberal Party.
It
Yet,
doesn't
and
seem like
also
the whole world is going fascist at this point.
that's why we need to stand up. You know, that's why we need to speak. We need like progressive Joe Rogans. You know, we need
Yeah,
like
yeah.
so many people. That's the thing about like some people just copy the extremists because everyone do them. They're not evil at heart, or they just copy because they think that's what they should do. If we speak up and start, and not, I'm not saying speak up and just try to be violent about it, but hey, we
Mhm.
exist, we here. Some people say, oh, you're right, you're here too. I'm sorry, I'm gonna change my minding. A lot of people change their minding where they meet different people,
I agree. Yes,
but they can't meet different people if these different people don't speak.
or they don't exist anymore.
Yeah,
And this is
like,
kind of. I feel like this is where we're heading.
yeah. So I hope, like I said, I'm concerned about Pulyev. I don't like the guy. He's a rich snob who has rich friends. He's a younger Trump, kind of,
Oh
in
God.
Canada. It's like, but again, the election is not there yet. The campaign has not started yet. So I'm hoping that people can have sense. There right now in Canada, there's a movement to retaliate against Trump's tariff. So Canada, we're gonna be ready. That's like prime ministers all bending, like getting most of them all like getting together to stop. And that's that thing. Doug Ford is a extreme right prime minister
Yeah,
in
I knew
Ontario.
that. Yeah.
Even this guy gonna fight back against Trump. So that's
Oh
hopeful
God.
for me because we deal politics differently here. We speak
Yeah.
together, we build alliances. So that's comforting for me. But again, we'll have to see.
Well, I feel for you. I feel for all the trans community, especially here in the U.S., because I have a lot of friends that are extremely worried with Trump nuts about to take office here in a few days. A lot
But
of folks are very worried here.
I'll say this: your system is not all negative, though. You have a good system because each states have power, and they are like lawyers, and there are laws in place. Like Biden elected the most judge ever, any president. A lot of them were, and the majority were black people. So like they are judge, and the system over there, you will have some sort of defense against this.
Well, that's what
At
we're
least.
hoping. I'm not sure it's going to be enough, but that is what we're hoping. Yes,
Because last time Trump was there, couldn't he was limited, right?
it was.
He
But
was
he's got
he,
more. He's got more. He's got more pieces in place. He's got the Supreme Court now.
yeah, but it's half like even the Supreme Court turn against him against lately.
Yeah.
There's one that went didn't go in his favor.
Yeah, he was
His,
really pissed about that.
is his majority is like
Yeah.
51%, whatever,
Yeah,
right? That's
it's
not enough
close.
to pass any laws, whatever. So I guess I hope you have a system in place. That's
And
for
that's
sure.
what those of us that have, that possess, the ability to think things through, are hoping what comes out. But a lot of us just aren't optimistic about this. What's
Yeah,
going to
well,
happen?
it's dark time, but like I say this, I'm called Dragon of Darkness because I like darkness, but I'm gonna say
Understood.
it's dark time
Understood.
because I don't think darkness equal evil, but that's another thing we could go into. But
Darkness does not equal evil, but
yeah, darkness is the
nevertheless.
foundation of everything. The universe is most darkness, it adds contrast to life, and like without darkness you don't have any colors, and like there's so many things like how darkness is important. But my point is that's yes, it's dark times, but we can go over it now. We have, if the
Yes,
extremists use internet to have their ideas, to spread the ideas, we can do the same too.
yes, I
That's,
agree.
but we have
So
to do
I
something.
didn't play your music. I was going to, but I didn't because I didn't have your permission to play your music during the
Oh yeah,
video
yeah,
at the
sure,
time. But
100%.
I would like to play your music during some videos if you don't mind.
Yeah, you. I have content ID, but I'm gonna let it go if like.
Okay.
But yeah, yeah. No, I mean I can choose to. I won't block your videos if you play your music. That's what I'm
Oh
saying.
no, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So as we wrap up tonight,
I'm sorry it went politics, I guess,
no,
but
no,
it's
I'm
like
okay with that. But what are your parting thoughts here?
um,
What
there's
would you like
more
to see happen? What would you like to see happen the next 4 years?
people working together. That's the only like working together. Have less men in power. I mean that sounds maybe bad, but right now the world is led by men, and this needs to change.
Well,
We
we've
need
kind of
more.
fucked things up, so I kind of get that.
We need women. We need women in politics. We need entrepreneur women. We need, like you need teacher women, queer people. Like we need to stand together. Like you have the first congressman who's trans right now, right?
Yeah.
Congressman,
Mm-hmm.
congresswoman. I'm sorry, congresswoman. Yeah, the first
Congresswoman.
congresswoman
Yes.
who's trans, and
Mm-hmm.
that's a lot of progress.
So,
Imagine.
what are your thoughts on somebody like Eleanor Roosevelt?
Can you refresh me because I don't know all the presidents. Like
Oh,
I
Eleanor Roosevelt. She was the wife of Franklin Delano,
okay,
but she broke a lot of ground. I guess is what
okay,
I was getting at.
okay. Yeah, well, we need more of that. Like we
Understood.
it's
I
like
want to thank I want to thank Lillycue for joining me tonight. I want to ask you to not jump off. I want to have a brief conversation with you off camera, but this has been nice. I love talking about things that maybe somebody my age doesn't understand, or other folks. Not everything is about us, folks. And it does frustrate me that there are some people out there that only have their best interests at heart other than the whole society. So anyway, I want to thank Lily Q for joining me. I am Tom, the beer whisperer, the whiskey whisperer. I'm going to skip to the end, Salaranga guy, and thank Lily Q, Dragon of Darkness, for joining me as I jump off camera here. Once I find it, there we go.